Hi guys, this week I'm talking about my experience. So, the different places that I've worked, the different brands I've worked for, and the companies that I've helped build. In our last couple sessions, we talked about a fintech company called Invoice2Go that I helped build up and sell to Bill.com, and then a cybersecurity company called Telesign that I helped build up to rival Twilio and steal some of their market share. And now I'd like to talk about a really interesting company that I had the privilege of working for. And this company is called LeoLabs. It is really neat. So basically, LeoLabs is a data provider. And what they do is they build these radars. They look like this. They build them all over the world in different locations. And then they track objects in low Earth orbit. And they provide this data back to the organizations that need it. So maybe like a SpaceX or a OneWeb, a company that needs to know where their constellation of satellites are, maybe a government agency or like a defense contractor that needs to know, where objects are for either defense purposes or for operations purposes. And low Earth orbit is the most crowded area of space. It is where the International Space Station is. It is where all of the projects that we hear about, or most of them at least, are happening. And so this is a growing market, basically. Space companies are popping up every day. And LeoLabs had, sky's the limit situation going on when it came to growing their business. They'd secured a lot of funding, and their product basically was this programmable API/interface, and they could turn on and off different data streams within that in order to provide different services to their customers, which we productized. And I'll show you how we did that in a minute. So the first thing that I did when it comes to, and the first thing that I always do when it comes to deciding whether or not a company's messaging is resonating and where we should go next and how we should build their brand, is I talk to customers. So these are my notes from a civil agency customer conversation. And when I talk to customers, I'm not just looking for like, hey, why would you buy our product? I'm actually digging a little deeper than that. And I'm looking for things like, what is your biggest concern? What makes you feel significant in your job? What are your goals and aspirations, right? When you are selling a B2B product, you need to be approaching your customer like a human being and really helping them succeed in their business, right? That is your job. So I do a lot of customer research when I approach a project like this. After that, we did a pretty extensive brand refresh, a pretty holistic brand refresh, and we created a new brand personality, a whole visual ecosystem for this brand. And we branded the products as we productized them to bring them to market, to make them really easy to understand and easy to buy. So we'll talk about thought leadership in a minute, because we also created a thought leadership ecosystem. But have a look for a second at this brand. So basically, as you can see there, it's visually appealing. I mean, that's the first thing. And there are bits and pieces that catch your eye. But in addition to that, it's really easy to understand, okay, here are the services that they provide, and here is, what that service is going to do for me, and all of the resources that I need to really understand what I'm going to get here. And then, these materials made it into every part of the brand experience and the sales experience. So basically, when you think about, a product suite feeling cohesive, what you really want is something that looks and feels very cohesive and easy to understand. So here's a piece of sales collateral that we created. talking about our different products. And again, we have this really simple conversational style that's really smart and fits this brand that we've created and allows our customer to understand the products and how they're going to improve their job and their own performance and their own business without requiring too much brain power. We've broken it down and simplified it for our customer. So if you go back here, you will actually start to see some of the real understanding and where the rubber meets the road when it comes to understanding your customer's psychology, how they talk, their point of view, their worldview, and marrying it with your brand, your content strategy, and your sales strategy. We created custom pieces like this. I'm just going to play this on silent really quickly for you guys so that you can see, so that our customer would understand that their concerns were our concerns. So little leave behinds or, thought leadership pieces like this will really make an impact with your customer. This one was for a defense customer, and they were very concerned about the latency, the lag time between some of the alerts that they were getting when things were happening in space with these legacy systems. And we knew that that was a massive pain point of theirs, especially if you think from a defense perspective, what kind of troubles that could cause. So we put together this point of view piece, and after sales touch points and during some important events that we attended, we put this piece of thought leadership out there. And we really started to talk to them about how they could reduce these lag times, this latency with our product. And we gave them the facts and information that they needed in really simple terms so that it was really easy to understand, and then, gave them some facts and additional resources so that they had reasons to believe us when we said that we could help them with this issue. The other thing that we did is we started to create a fully functioning content ecosystem. So if you go here under Leo Pulse, you'll see the pieces of monthly thought leadership that we were offering our customers. And these pieces actually help our customer be as amazing as they can be in their own job. So here are pieces of thought leadership to help our customers get wise and keep up on everything that was happening in their industry. We partnered with industry experts on these. We really made sure that they were content rich and focused on our specific industry. We did a couple of cool things here. So the first thing being, we had an audio version. So we knew that our customer could be particularly busy. So we created an audio version. So if they didn't have time to actually sit and read this piece, they could still listen to it. So we put that on Spotify, which again puts another lure out there in the water to catch fish, if you will. So, people could come across us in Spotify as well. But also it just added to the convenience of consuming our content for our customer. And then the other cool thing that we did is we created these infographics here. And if you'll have a look at this is basically a downloadable infographic, which our customer could insert if they wanted to into some sort of presentation if they wanted to use it, and they could go ahead and use it however they felt worthwhile. And what that does is every single time they use our infographic, obviously our brand is being proliferated into even their own presentations to their teams and their partners, which was really cool. And we also showed a little bit more of the human side of the company. This is an engineering-led company. So, mostly they were individuals that were used to being behind computer screens and not necessarily in front of customers as much. So we really started to show our personality. This is a radar opening where we went live on Instagram and connected to some customers there and showed, some of our engineers and radar builders talking about the radar that we were opening and why we felt so passionately about space sustainability, which was really cool. And as you can see, I mean, this brand refresh, it touched every touch point. The sales enablement toolkit that we created was exceptionally valuable to our sales team, whether they were courting customers at conferences, every single touch point we got quite popular when we started putting these things out in the world, all of this free material and this demand generation ecosystem. But every touch point was just incredibly thoughtful and, built to help our customers understand what we did, how we were there to support them, and really, drive forward that demand for what we had to offer. This company has done quite well with this ecosystem, and I'm really proud of them. So this is definitely a great experience to share, and was a fantastic experience in my portfolio of experiences, if you will, throughout my career, and one that I'm really proud of. So thank you for your time, and I will be back to share more of my experience throughout the week. Bye.